Hey guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. My name is Becc. I'm a spiritual unfoldment guide and a psychic channel. Today I want to talk to you about blessing, what that is, why we're even talking about it right now. So as a channel, I receive visions and messages from spirit, and at the moment I've sensed that there is a calling for us to reinitiate the act, the sacred act or sacred ritual of blessing into our being, into society, and into our day, into our lives. Many of us, we just kind of go about the day, and we also, when we're born, we're given a name that is just, often meaningful. But for instance, in other tribes, in old ways, the name given would have an association with the soul and with the spirit. And I think that's what I'm trying to say is sometimes missing from that. And this initiation, or this active beginning the day or beginning a life, there is something, of course, we all know sacred and beautiful about that, about a new dawn of a life or a day, a moment. Every new moment is a new dawn. So beautiful. But we are really called to bring back this act of ritualized blessing. I have notes here, and what the guys were telling me about is that blessing is reverence. When I say blessing, I was like, what does that mean exactly, guys? That means a lot to different people. When we're talking about blessing in this sense, we're talking about reverence. We're talking about honoring the great I intention that is the same in me as it is the same in you, as it is the same in all life and all creation. We're really talking about really honoring the sacred. Many have heard this word namaste, and it is said to mean the God in me honors the God in you. It's that kind of idea. So when we bless something in this intentional way of I bless you or I bless this child, we are setting the intention of that new life or new day. We are helping it anchor in it through a collective shared intention. If you're not blessing yourself and you're doing it for someone else like a child, we create a collective intention that that life may know its own sacredness and that it may remember. And we are revering it as the sacred God force, that sacred I intention that it is. And in revering that, we are actively remembering our source of origin. We are remembering what and who we are. That is why I use the word remembrance. And in that act, we provide a resonance for that other consciousness we might be blessing, or if you're blessing yourself, that it may be rooted in this remembrance of the God force, of where we all come from, and that we are all a part of this oneness. It is a sacred, beautiful thing that has long been forgotten in society. When I speak about blessing, I'm actively referencing lives that I have had that I remember from Lemuria, and multiple kind of shamanic lifetimes that I've had. I have particular memory of being a shaman in a rainforest type of place, and I would provide, people would bring their children to me. I was like the medicine woman. They would bring their children to me, and I would, amongst other things, do blessing for the new child in the tribe always. When I would do this blessing, I would gather my energy, focus my energy into blessing energy, and I would really reference the stars. I would call the stars, and clairvoyantly I became a blanketing of stars all across my being. That's what my energy turned into. I channeled the stars, the universe. It was representative of the universal consciousness. And of course the earth. knowing that the child was already of the earth, I would bring this energy of universal blessing, remembrance of who and what we all are. With the support or the permission of the mother, she would be standing there, that she was a part of this. It was very beautiful. But yeah, I really remember channeling the stars and becoming this energy of universal oneness. And so I bless this child. I bless this life, is what I would say. I bless this life that is here. Recognizing the life, the isness, the God force in that being. And that was the way of the entire culture there, was constant reverence for nature and for life itself. So this is a sacred practice that has been forgotten, and we really are in a time of remembering now. So that's why there's guidance here for us to return to these kinds of sacred practices. When we really anchor that energy of blessing for our new child, ourselves, for our day, our life, we actively have kind of like built up this beautiful energy, and sort of, for lack of a better way of putting this and to help with understanding, it's like a blob of blessing energy and God force energy. And then you put that onto the life or onto the day. And what I want to say is, so of course then this will cultivate more alignment in the day, or the experience of that isness, of that life, experiencing experience. It will experience more alignment because it has been anchored into that remembrance of its God self. So obviously alignment means health and wellness. It means joy and happiness. It means all the things that come with aligning to the higher self and the God force. So we want to use this, understanding that it is really, if you think about this, if I am the God force and I start blessing something else that is the God force, like a child, it is then that the God force is recognizing itself in something else. And it is actually, this is the moment of acknowledgement of itself. And this is really sacred and important, because this is the whole I intention for source consciousness to have expressed itself here. It wanted to marry into and create itself into different forms and identities and perspectives, so that it could look back at itself, recognize itself, and learn from that experience of kind of losing itself in a concept and identity, and then returning with all the learning and the wisdom that came from that forgetting, returning to remembrance. So if you understand that sort of dynamic of consciousness, blessing is really powerful and really, really important. We really want to recognize that we are the God force. It isn't out here, it isn't like over there. You are it now. And we must recognize it in one another now. And we must begin to, it's about returning to a way of life that is rooted in reverence. Thus, remembrance. Reverence equals remembrance. When you are in awe of a sunset or in awe of the beauty of something, you are being in awe of the God force itself. And really you're being in awe of yourself, because you are that God force also. So this is something that we can do to provide more alignment for ourselves individually. Self-blessing. I bless myself. I am blessing. I become the energy of blessing. Use whatever words really work for you. And just through intention, may I be blessed. And you can think about that like, may I remember who I truly am, and thus be happy and well and free. That's what it means. May this life, like I bless my cats because I love them, beings that you love. May this life before me be blessed to remember its own essence. In me standing here in reverence of the life that it is, may I support it. to reference itself, remember itself, and us to remember that we are one. This is a sacred gift that you can give yourself, your children, your day, your project, something you're working on or creating. May it be blessed. May all our creations be an expression of that God force energy. May it cultivate remembrance in those who use our creations, like this YouTube video. May you remember the God force that you are through my blessing here and now. And so it is.